What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Fight Night, Edgar versus Korean Zombie happened this past December 21st, Saturday morning from Busan, South Korea. Originally it was supposed to be Brian Ortega. He pulled out. I think it was an injury. Forget what kind of injury it was. Edgar preparing for his debut at bantamweight. He decided to fill in short notice and didn't look. I mean, there wasn't much of a fight there. He ended up getting finished early in the first. The Korean Zombie has just been on a tear since he's come back, since he fulfilled his mandatory military service in South Korea. And I think he just changed camps for the first time. I think he went to like Arizona or something like that for his last 2 or 3 fights. So he's looked great. I would actually love to see. He called out Volkanovski at 145, new champ at 145. But I think Korean Zombie's right up there. I don't know if necessarily he should be fighting for the belt next. If Max wants to take a break instead of fighting for a rematch right away. There's a lot of great fights for Max in the featherweight division before getting back to the belt. But I think Max should be fighting for the belt. I would love to see Korean Zombie fight, definitely Ortega. Even like Zabit or I guess they already fought. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch with Korean Zombie and fucking Pantera again. I can't think of his name. But that would be good. I think there's a lot. I'm excited for that. I would not mind seeing him, however, fight for the belt if Max Holloway doesn't do it. And with Frankie Edgar, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's still going to go down to 135. It's probably a better weight class for him as far as people aren't going to be punching as hard. His chin, it took a while. The ref gave Frankie some time to potentially recoup. We've seen Frankie Edgar, especially in the lightweight against Gray Maynard, both of those fights where he had to rally back to win the fight. But that was a long time ago, man. That was probably closer to a decade ago than not. Since Frankie's spent more time in the octagon. I think I saw some meme where they put out that he's spent more time. He spent like 7 hours and some minutes in the octagon total, which is just insane. It's insane to be in those kind of battles. And he's been in some wars. But it's never really looked like his chin is given out. But he definitely got rocked and wasn't able to recoup. So we'll see. I love Frankie Edgar, though. So whatever he decides, I still wouldn't mind seeing him at bantamweight, see what he can do there. But yeah. So the co-main, Volkan Ozdemir versus Rakic, which was, the light heavyweight division is, I like that there's a lot of dudes kind of coming up. Some potential contenders for John Jones. I don't really know of any that are going to have success against John Jones, but it's interesting seeing a fresh batch of fighters come in, considering the old batch has kind of moved on in a lot of ways. The Volkan Ozdemir versus Rakic. Ozdemir planning a giant hematoma on Rakic's knee. It's definitely slowed him down. Ended up getting him a win. It was a split decision. But I don't think Rakic, he definitely landed a lot of punches, but I saw that pretty clearly for Ozdemir. But a good fight nonetheless. Then you had Doo-Ho Choi, this Korean Superboy, huge fan of, had a classic all-out war with Cub Swanson. Like the sweetest, like most innocent looking Korean kid, ending up being like just a savage. But he ended up getting finished pretty quick. I guess it was the second round. He ended up getting knocked out, but I think in the first round he ended up getting clipped too. Charles Jourdain was able to land some punches, some clean punches, and put him down, and ended up in the second. But yeah, the overall card was pretty fun. There's the other light heavyweight fight, Da Un Jung versus Mike Rodriguez. Jung just a quick knockout. Anytime there's just same thing with heavyweight. Anytime there's like somebody new in a weight class that's kind of thinned out, I'm always excited to see exciting finishes. I don't know how well rounded he is, but he definitely has knockout power. So it was fun. It was decent night of fights. Kind of a nice cool down, a little wind down from UFC 245. There's a break. The next fight's not till January 18th, UFC 246. So kind of a nice wind down for the holidays, and then a nice little break to get you really eager and excited to watch McGregor versus Cowboy. I'm sure that card's going to be stacked. I'm going to do a preview for it the week of. So whatever that is, January, that'll come out probably January 12th, maybe, that episode, whatever that Tuesday is. But yeah, so there's no more fights. There's no previews. Nice little thing. There's no real news aside from Henry Cejudo relinquishing his belt, the 125 belt, which a lot of people kind of saw happening, considering I think he's trying to set up a fight at bantamweight. And he's out with a shoulder injury. So thankfully, it seems like they're keeping the 125 weight division around, which I'm happy with, because they're doing an interim belt with Benavidez versus Figueroa. Forget. So it'll be interesting. I'm glad, because I like that division. I think despite Mighty Mouse's just domination, I think the fact that he was a very vanilla person outside of the octagon, very quiet and very just not good at selling fights, he didn't do that division any favors. At least Henry Cejudo, cringe or not cringe, at least he's putting himself out there. He's getting people talking about it. He literally saved the weight division. So whoever wins, hopefully they will have some charisma, at least show their personality. I don't think they need to be like try and emulate Conor McGregor or anybody like that. Just whoever they are as a person, hopefully they're able to translate that into keeping some life in that division. And then Liz Carmouche, who I'm a fan of, the very first female to ever walk into a cage when she fought Ronda Rousey for the first female bantamweight female fight in general in the UFC. She was pretty unceremoniously let go. There was some miscommunication. She was on a promotional tour with the UFC when she found out that she was fired, or released, I should say, which is disappointing. I know she's lost some of her fights, but I still enjoy watching her fight. I think she should have done a lot better, I think, in her last fight against Shevchenko, but just couldn't really pull the trigger, seemed too hesitant. She's going over to Bellator, which I think is a good fit for her. I think she'll probably do really well, maybe fight for the belt, maybe get the belt. But she's from San Diego, so I'm a big supporter of Liz Carmouche. Happy that she found a new home over at Bellator. Yeah, so we'll see. So we'll see what happens next Tuesday. These next 2 weeks, there'll probably be, there's no fights, so maybe I'll find something on Fight Pass to recap, or I'll find something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll surprise you next week what Tuesday's episode will hold. But nothing until January 18th. So the week before that, or the Tuesday before the 18th, I will do a preview and make picks for McGregor versus Cowboy, assuming that hopefully that holds together. But that's it for this episode. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out. want.